this is my granny spec R32 Skyline. I've had this one for about 8 years now. It was my first car and the power steering rack started leaking really badly, so I jumped under there and I had a look, and it's way too complicated. There's too many lines because the car does have super high cast still. So I thought, what better other time than to pull the motor and do the steering rack while we're at it and do some engine work as well. So as I said before, the car is granny spec. The only things done to it is an elite HALTECH ECU and a front mount intercooler. Everything else is pretty much standard. So a factory turbo RB20, and that's it. The plan with this one basically is I want about 350 horsepower out of it, just a nice fun car. I do miss the low powered street car. So plan is just rings and bearings, no rods, no pistons, just a head studs and head gaskets, maybe rod bolts as well probably, and just a top mount turbo manifold, a different turbo. I still want to keep a small turbo and injectors, and that's pretty much it. Just very basic, trying to spend as little as possible and just have a fun like street car. Got the intake pipe off now. As you can see down here in this one, there's a fair bit of oil in there. It's just because the turbo is quite old and the bar was just tied on, so we just took it off so I can get to the intercooler piping. There we go. It looks so sad already. This is one of my first fiberglass repairs. As you can see, the bar was snapped and I just layered some on, but you can see here it's cracked again, obviously from going over speed bumps and stuff. I'm not recording too much of this. I'm just going along and getting all the hoses off everything and all like the little boring things. The AC stuff looks annoying, but I think I'll just unbolt the compressor and let it hang there because I don't want to undo all the lines. I just got the battery out, which now you guys can clearly see some of the high cast stuff down here. It's got like sensors coming off it and a bunch of lines. I'm assuming the rack, it feeds the rack and then this feeds the back. I'm not exactly sure how it works. I really don't like this ignition module thing. I hope I can get rid of it. It's so ugly. Just got the intercooler pipe off. Look at this. That is, I would say, like almost all the way through. It was rubbing on the body. I don't know if it's all the way through or not, but that's so gross. I have a feeling that this intercooler was supported mostly by the intercooler pipes because it's kind of dangling really weird now. Oil in that pipe. That's so yuck. Just trying to get all these plugs off under the manifold. They're really stuck. Especially the injector ones. And I don't even know what this big ugly square thing is. Like, what is that? This is all the injector wiring and manifold wiring. It's so ugly. It's so oily. This car's gonna feel like a quick rebuild, put it all back in, but this makes me want to like fix it. Everything in this car is so oily. Look at that. I just took the pod filter off. It's got some sensor that wasn't even plugged in still on it. I took this off. It's like the front of the turbo because I wanted to get down, undo this clamp to get this off so I can get to the AC bracket back there because I can't get in. But look at how tiny, like it's tiny. I don't even know how that made any power. I just pulled off a bunch of stuff to reveal the tiniest little cutest little turbo. Look at how tiny it is. Got the power steering motor off the engine. It looks so greasy. It was so hard to get off. We had to get it off to get to the AC compressor down there so we could take that off. It's a new day today, day 2 of taking the RB20 out of my R32 for a freshener. I'll show you guys where we're currently at. Okay, so we've got the power steering off, about to do the AC compressor. We've taken out the rad, the battery, the intercooler, the front bar, disconnected a bunch of stuff off the turbo. There's the wee little turbo there. It's so tiny, so rusty. I did not expect it to be that small. I've disconnected a bunch of the loom, which is also, it's actually not that bad condition. It's just a bit like crusty, but it's not that bad. Nothing's broken on it. Once the rest of the stuff in the bay is disconnected, I'm going to jump under the car and undo the gearbox mount, the tail shaft, and undo the shifter inside the car, and then it should be ready to pull out. Just a little reference for how oily it actually is and how many oil leaks this car does have. That is so gross. Also the sump at the front and the front like timing gear cover or whatever is covered in oil. Just got the bolts out of the exhaust manifold shield. They're super rusty. They're all stripped off, just completely useless. They're gonna go straight in the bin. Now let's go down here and take the exhaust manifold shield off and see how rusty it is. That's so bad. One of the next things we need to do is undo the shifter so we can get the gearbox out from under the car. So you just want to take off your shift knob. This one's got a bit of wear and tear on it, so we can remove this dust booty, which sometimes is connected to these, if it still is, but mine's a bit sun damaged and it's shrunk. Then we want to undo these 10 mils, I think they are, to get this off and get the plate holding this on off so we can get this shifter stick out. So I took all the shifter gear off. Now I need to just remove this rubber. Once you get this rubber back, you can see that little circlip there. Once you squeeze that together and pull it out, this shifter stick will come out. So the shifter's out, box is ready to come out once I undo the box mount and tail shaft. Day 3 of taking the engine out of the R32. It's taking so long because we're having to stop because it is winter here, so it's getting dark extra quick. Everything's all connected and all set up. I just need to jump under and undo the gearbox mount, and then everything should just slide straight out. You can really just see how disgustingly oily everything is. This is the gearbox mount that I've got to undo. There's just 4 bolts, 2 here, 2 on the other side. So with these boxes in the R32 and S13s, when you take the tail shaft out of the gearbox, all the gearbox oil comes out the back. So just be mindful of that when taking your gearbox engine out. I've got the scissor jack here to help hold it up, because I didn't want weight on the bolts while I'm undoing it, and as well it just helps with more precision because you don't just want it to drop and then have oil going everywhere. Also, can't forget to undo your slave, so just the 2 bolts on the side of the box. Just jacking the motor up now so we can get some room, so we can slot it forward a little bit to get the tail shaft out of the box. You can stop it there. The tail shaft's out, the box is draining into the tub. Is it there though? It's had like maybe now, but got work for the next few days, and then we're going to get stuck into pulling this thing apart. So basically just bottom end rebuild, cleaning up a little bit of stuff, basically trying to keep it as stock as possible with some small power adders. So that should be pretty fun, and I'll see you guys in the next video, and don't forget to subscribe.